All right, hey guys, it's your boy B, back to talk to you guys once again. I just had to do another quick video for tonight because I just recently heard that people were giving out rumors that Vince McMahon and the rest of WWE was banning Jon Moxley from ever coming back to WWE ever again. And I'm the one that's going to be sitting here telling you right now why that is complete bull. Because at the same time, everyone knows in this business of wrestling, well, oh my God, in the business of wrestling, okay, because it sounds like I'm part of it, but in the world of wrestling right now, you know that if you're a massive commodity and that you're somebody that is bringing bread to the table of that business better than anybody else, it doesn't really matter how much of an ass you really are or what you did. If you come back and you can definitely generate money more than anybody could ever think of, and you can draw crowds back into the business better than anybody else can at that time, you're coming back. And any single person that literally thinks that a Jon Moxley wouldn't call WWE right now and he would fail on getting a contract signing, trust and do believe he would. There is no way in the world that Jon Moxley would ever fail on getting another contract with WWE. Trust and do believe. They know what Jon Moxley has done since he's left the business. And trust and do believe, he'll come back as Dean Ambrose, of course, because that's his WWE name. But at the same time, anybody that literally thinks that he will not get another deal with WWE just because of some former situation that had happened, I'm telling you right now, that's a lie. Trust and do believe when I tell you, it will never happen in that situation. He will always get signed quick. That the amount of money that he's ungrossed for AEW right now, showing WWE since 2019 and now on exactly just how much he can be a commodity and a massive franchise for a business, bringing crowds to a show to watch. That man, no matter where he goes, I don't even care if it was New Japan Pro Wrestling that he decided to stay in Japan for the next 10 years, if he went to Ring of Honor, no matter where the hell he goes, he's going to be wanted and he will not be turned down, especially in WWE. And at the end of the damn time, no matter what he said, no matter anything else, we're talking about the same people who is still right now trying their damnedest to get CM Punk back in the business to help draw crowds. But you don't think they wouldn't put Jon Moxley and allow him to come back as Dean Ambrose? And trust to believe, Dean Ambrose is also a smart athlete. He is not going to come back and just take some BS contract. He's going to want his own. He's going to want control over his character. He's going to want to make sure that he gets put in serious rivalries, everything else like that. So literally at the end of the time when he comes back to WWE, he'll be put in serious matches. He'll be going up against people like Drew McIntyre. He'll be having true rivalries with Roman and Seth. You know, he's already done did that in some way or form. He'll have that. You know what I'm saying? He'll be going against top-notch athletes in the business right now, WWE, that are totally the mainstay and the biggest commodities in the business. He's going to have those serious rivalries with those people. There's no way in the world that is not happening. And I'm clearing that up, and I don't care if people get mad or not. Anyone that is saying that is a damn lie and they're full of crap. In this world, when you are a commodity, it doesn't matter how much of an ass you are. As long as you ain't beat nobody down, especially in no domestic dispute, if you ain't racist, in most occasions, if you ain't racist to a major extent to where it hurts your damn name and they can't do nothing but get rid of you, if you ain't murdered nobody, caused kidnappings, or done any kind of terrorist act outside of those damn things I already said, in any form, especially like rape, if you ain't did none of those things in your name, no matter how much of an ass, somewhere or form you're coming back. And you're going to get used the way they want to use you. And you're going to get used properly, especially when you're a massive commodity that people want to see. Okay? Because at the end of the day, one thing people don't understand when it comes to a business is that, yes, the business goes out looking for great talent. But at the same time, it's still a 50-50 deal. They giving you a great contract, rather if it's starting out or if it's a massive one, no matter what. They're giving you a great contract for you to do the things you need to do. But at the same time, you're supposed to give back. If they're giving you a $500,000 contract, or they're giving you $750,000 contract, or even multiple or a multi-million-dollar contract, they're expecting you to also put that amount of money back times 10 or more. Because you should. If they're going out their damn way to pay you $750,000 for 3 years, or they're going out there to pay you $250,000 for 2 or 3 years, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And just for you to come to their business and you just sit down, and then at the same time you complain because you don't get things done. And the same thing, no matter how much people want to talk about it, commodity is what truly moves you in the business. You see, at the same time, people like Cena and Batista and Punk and Edge and Orton, and Flair and Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, they weren't just great athletes or decent athletes. At the same time, they were major draws. No matter how much you liked them or you hated them, and you couldn't stand them because they only had a certain amount of moveset, it didn't matter. They were massive commodities. That's why they were always in the big matches. You put the big names that are in your business at the time that are the biggest draws in the matches. And I know people can say, yeah, but you can switch it up every now and then. But what's the point of giving a superstar who may be talented a massive push to go for a title if he still or she still can't even do the proper things right outside of just doing wrestling? At the end of the damn day, this ain't like certain independent scenes where you just go out there, you might do a little funny gimmick thing, you don't gotta be too serious about it, you do a hell of a match and people walk off. You are a daily, fuck a daily, you're on a weekly episodic show that is seen by millions and millions of people. That's Impact Wrestling, WWE, and AEW. They are the most watched wrestling shows in America. You have to literally be on every point of your character to keep people drawn in. You gotta be absolutely awesome in your gimmick to talk. And a lot of people be like, oh, but talent's holding back. Have you not listened to a lot of these great wrestlers from the past? That even if they had freedom to speak, still back in those days, even though they might have had a little bit more freedom to speak, they were still given gimmicks sometimes that they didn't even want. They had to make work. And when they finally got a chance, they would go out there and they would still put out their neck to try to something different to get things over. You know how many times The Rock and Austin and other superstars like Angle and them all would go out there and try some weird crap that probably shouldn't work, but maybe did work for that time being because people just found it funny. None of these, I actually believe what Drew McIntyre says. People in this business right now of wrestling are complacent. They are. Because no matter what, everybody always wants to sit there and say a business does not push them or doesn't give them what they want. And at the time, yeah, that can be true. But exactly how many of them are really going to Vince or going to things and literally letting them know, I want to do this and I'm going to do this? Because CM Punk sure the hell didn't have a problem. CM Punk didn't have no damn pull in the business. And CM Punk will still go right to Vince McMahon and tell him, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And he'll do it to the point where Vince McMahon is like, yeah, whatever, just do it. I don't care. Okay? So don't sit here and tell me that someone like Zack Ryder or Kurt Hawkins that was in that business, and they truly wanted to become somebody better in the business and the stronger gimmick, they wanted to try their damnness because they were in that business long enough where they could have did the same damn thing. So, at the same time, I understand where people were like, oh, I want to see different people. But at that time, you got to see exactly how much that superstar is really putting back. Look around and see. Now, I'm not talking about how somebody can wrestle, because everybody thinks that because like someone like Ricochet who can do 3 front flips into a cool ass swanton bomb is so iconic that he's just so off the chart. Okay, he can do that. But exactly how well is he really getting himself over to the point that he's literally one of the ones that people want to talk about on a daily basis? He's not. He's not. Like right now, look how long Big E's been single in the business now. Since he left the faction. Actually, he didn't really leave. So he's been split up from Kofi and Xavier. He's now a singles competitor. He's only been a singles competitor for a couple months. And he's oozing crazy with his own style way of how he's going out by himself now. He's oozing. And he's only going to get better as a singles competitor as he goes along. He's only going to get better at those situations, and he's only going to get more of a draw as a singles competitor than what he already is, because he knows how to make money. He knows how to do the business. He knows how to do the commodity. He knows how to talk. Everything that he does, you believe is coming from his gut, even if it's told to him from somebody else to say. He still knows how to go out there and make it work. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He has his ways of doing things, and it works. He found a way to make things work for him, and he's done it. Ricochet has not done that. Ali, if he keeps on going the way he is, even though, like I already told you earlier about Retribution, at the same time, the way Ali is talking and doing things now, if he keeps that going on, no matter if he goes good or bad, he's going to get better in commodity. At the end of the time, right now in the business, when it comes to people that deal around commodity, you're talking about Drew McIntyre, you're talking about Roman Reigns. You just got to land throughout late last year. You had Jey Uso, who just started popping up hard body. You got Big E. Along with them, you also got Sasha Banks getting high back up in her damn storytelling, and she finally got a good run going, you know. And then you got other ones that are hitting it big too, like Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan. And those are the guys that are literally keeping asses in seats. They're the ones that got everybody's attention. And then you got other ones that got the potential level. I mean, outside of AJ Styles, who's up there too. But then you got other people that are up there, or at least midway, to the point where people like them enough, like Sami Zayn and, you know, let me get another one that's going, you know, and, you know, Bobby Lashley. You know, you got guys like them and Riddle and Keith Lee, who are guys that are not all the way up there yet in the main roster, but at least you know, and they keep going the way they're going, they keep doing things right, they'll definitely raise their attraction and their freaking their franchise and main event status a lot higher, or at least high in the mid card area for a while, to the point where people will actually watch them, want to see them, and see things going. And better yet than anybody right now, who's still active and going hard as ever, and had one of his best years, Randy Orton, and the top of that, Bray Wyatt. These are the guys that are drawn. So these are the guys that are either going to be around the title, have the title, or just mainstay bad guys or good guys that can just draw crowds in. And then when people get mad when they don't see other superstars, think at the end of the day, where is their drive? They literally just think because they can do a fucking backflip off the top rope that they're supposed to be in the main event. That is not how it works. See, AJ Styles and all these guys, they done put tons of money back into the business that the business is giving them in money. You know what I'm saying? You think they just have money to throw around and then they can just let it go? Hell no. You got to put that money back into the business. Okay? You got to make sure, you got to draw crowds in that want to come see you. See, when live crowds come back to the business in the future, you're going to see AJ Styles shirts. You're going to see Drew McIntyre shirts. You're going to see Keith Lee shirts. You're going to see Riddle shirts. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see Daniel Bryan shirts. You're going to see Roman Reigns shirts. You might even see Uso shirts out there now, especially with Jey getting as big as he is. You're going to see Big E shirts and New Day shirts. Those are the guys that are putting ass in seats, along with females like Asuka and Charlotte Flair. And when Becky Lynch comes back, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and future, and you got the uprising of Bianca Belair, you're gonna see people like them. People having their shirts, their merchandise all over them. Because they're the ones that are commodities for the business. They're the ones that are oozing money into the company, not out of it. They're oozing it into it. They're making the cash flow go into the business. It's like, at the end of the damn day, if you give every single superstar that everybody thinks should be a world champion the belt, what the hell makes it special? And people can sit there and say, oh, but he held the championship 10 times. At the end of the damn day, somebody's going to hold the championship 10 times. There's no way in the world every single superstar in the business is going to come in and only hold the championship 2 or 3 times. It's not going to happen. You're going to put the belts off and on the people that are drawn the most in the company. Because that's what keeps people coming back. Right now, the sad thing is, even though King Corbin is doing things, he's not drawing the way he's supposed to. Sheamus is a great athlete. He's definitely high mid-card and semi-main event at times. But at the same time, he doesn't draw as much money as Drew does right now. He doesn't draw as much money as Orton does, or as Bray does, or as what Edge would do when he come back, or as much as Roman Reigns is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are drawing the money. So the belts are going to go on. You put the belts on the people that are putting ass in seats, the people that are making the show worth watching at the time. No matter how much you want other people to hold the titles, but at the same time, think to yourself, what are the other superstars that you really want to see wrestle? What are they really drawing into the crowd? You can't just throw a title on somebody and say, well, you never know how it's going to go. Yeah, you do. Because if he's shitty on the mic right now, he's going to be shitty on the mic during the serious storylines. And I know I don't want to watch no damn show where a person that sucks on the storylines in every aspect, especially talking, is on the main lines. And even though the sad thing about Roman Reigns was, Roman Reigns could talk his ass off in the promo when in the interview. When he was talking to people in interviews, he had no problem. His only problem was that Vince McMahon kept wanting to put words in his damn mouth that he didn't need to do. But see, if they were doing this with Roman Reigns from the get-go, things would have been entirely different. You see how Roman Reigns talks when he's a bad guy, and when he's got freedom to actually open his mouth and say things the way he wants to, he sounds a lot better. He would have been like that from the get-go. The main reason why these guys are always on the show and always going for the titles is because they're the main guys that are always putting the asses in the seats. It might suck, but at the end of the damn day, this is not a charity case. This is a business. This is a business that needs money, and you can't just put average people into the damn main event just because you want to give an opportunity to somebody, and at the same time, they ain't putting nothing into the business that's worth talking about. Show some more edge. Do something. For once in your life, if you're so angry because you can't get what you want, pop it off. And they're always talking about they're scared to the point that if they get fired, they'll be banned from the WWE. They'll be banned from the WWE? Come on. If your ass ends up getting fired from the WWE because you try to do some risk that wasn't good, at the end of the freaking damn day, if you go out and somewhere else and that mistake you made progress, trust to believe, in the future you will get a call back. Yeah, you will. Sometimes you might have to take that bump and people are like, oh, but the job is too iffy. No, the wrestling business is now pretty damn voluminous to the point now where if you fuck up in one wrestling place, you can get hired in another. So at the end of the damn day, this is a world of commodity just as much as it is as wrestling. You need commodity to keep the wrestling going. And you need the wrestling to make more commodity to keep the business staying existent in the damn world of wrestling. So, it's a 50-50 situation. So literally everyone that sit there and thinks that Jon Moxley is not gonna go that Jon Moxley, when he comes out of AEW and decides to go back to WWE to finish some loose ends in the business, and literally thinks that he's gonna be banned and never come back, it's utter bullshit. I'll say it. It's bullshit. Because Jon Moxley will come back as Dean Ambrose sometime down the future when he's finally done with what he's doing in AEW. He will come back to WWE because he's going to have some unfinished business in that business that he left to get a break from because they weren't getting what he want. And when he comes back, he'll have the edge because they're going to have no choice but to give him what he wants to get his ass back on their TV. And when he does, he's going to get everything that he wants because he's shown that when he gets on that TV, he's going to be a great commodity in the business. It's going to be a great business decision to have him there on that damn thing. And at the same time, people hate that damn line is best for business, but that's exactly what it is. If you're not really best for business, you're not going to get those major opportunities that you think you're going to get. You want to do something, become edgy. It's a 50-50 business. You're getting good money. Take some damn risks. Even if they're telling you don't say this, don't say that. Well, do something in that damn thing that makes them change their mind and go, you know what, I told them to say that, but you know what, it works. I like how you do it. If you're going to take a risk, make sure you do that risk right. And it pays off. 50-50 business. You got to be a commodity as much as an athlete. That's how it goes. Till next time, stay safe. Remember that wrestling is forever. And one love.